Hello, welcome to the Garden Gurus. I'm Trevor Cochran. We have got another sensational program for you, packed full of down-to-earth garden advice and some real inspiration, things that'll make gardening more successful and easier to do. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Neville shares a great new way of protecting your veggie garden crop. And who doesn't love hydrangeas? I'll share my secrets to transplanting these blooming beauties.
Digging around. Digging the ground. I got my spade, I got my hoe, I got my rake, and I'm ready to go.
Oh, g'day, folks. I'm just admiring this beautiful lemon tree here, full of lemons, lovely scented flowers. And we've got some lovely new growth on the top here, which always gets me excited. And I'm particularly excited today, folks, because I've got a very special treat for this lemon tree. The way plants take up essential nutrients is in solution. This is one of the reasons why liquid feeds are so effective and are absorbed immediately, so you get very fast results. Seasol have been the masters of liquid plant feeds and health tonics for years. And the reason I'm so excited today is because they've got this new premium formula, Seasol Gold. Seasol Gold has a unique patented formulation that improves seaweed efficiency. It is also boosted with calcium, which is essential in the formulation of roots, stems, and new growth in plants. It strengthens cell walls, which helps give plants better resistance to heat, drought, frost, pests, and diseases. Seasol Gold enhances nutrient uptake, stimulates flowering and fruiting, and helps with fruit firmness and colour at harvest, so it's just perfect for this lemon tree. Using it is really simple. You can mix up concentrate in a watering can as per the label rates on the back and then pour onto your plants and garden. Or for larger areas, there is the ready-to-use 1.2 litre hose-on bottle. There's also this very handy trigger spray pack that's great for up-close work and your indoor plants. And it's got two spray settings. There's the fan spray and there's the jet spray for more long-range action, and the sharpshooters like Trevor, and he'd know. I saw him take down a kumquat leaf a few years ago at the Melbourne Flower Show from a good 3 metres away, and that was with a slight crosswind too. It goes without saying that it was not only a personal best, it was a show record as well, and everyone who was there that day will always remember the roar that went up over the crowd across Carlton Gardens. It really was sensational, and it goes without saying, he took home gold that day.
There's two main tribes of water lilies. In the foreground are the hardies. These are plants that can handle quite cold conditions, and they tend to have more pastel-coloured flowers and just plain green foliage. But the real excitement in the world is in these tropicals at this end, where they've got brilliantly coloured foliage and stunning flowers, often in shades of purple, mauve, pink, absolutely gorgeous. Now, you can eat the flowers. They're edible, put them in salads, and you can also cut them for indoor display. But don't be dismayed if they close up at night time. They do that all across the world. But then tomorrow morning, out they pop.
We all have bare areas of turf. You know, those areas that get the most wear, the shortest route to the veggie garden or the shed. And even when you throw the ball for the dogs, they're always running in the same area. This time of the year, the weeds are dying big time, and it reveals all these bare areas of soil. Now, those bare areas of soil, the summer weeds are going to take over. So there's no better time to get a few rolls of turf, a shovel, some good soil, and fix them up, patch them up. It only is a half-hour job. Most important is to dig the area of soil out, or at the very least, loosen the soil. Digging out will usually get rid of the seed bed. These dormant seeds can lay in the soil for years, and the strategy of getting the lawn to grow strong and healthy to stop the weeds, well, it really does work. Successful gardening is all about the soil. It's as simple as that. Now, plants grow really well when the soil's fantastic because there's more moisture around the roots, and it's easy to do. I know why Trev got me to dig this area out. The soil is so hard. But any organic matter is going to keep the moisture around the plant's roots exactly where it's needed. And it's also about turf. Turf's no different. We need a variety that's perfect for Australian gardens. If you have a few small areas, a bag or two of Scott's Lawn Builder top dress and underlay organic lawn soil needs to be dug in. As the name suggests, it can also be used for top dressing any uneven areas of turf. Perfect if you've got any divots or holes in the lawn. It also contains a wetting agent to help water soak into the soil. I don't garden without a wetting agent. Water is too precious to have it run off the soil surface and be wasted. It also contains slow-release nutrients that will continuously feed the lawn over a period of 3 months while these new rolls are establishing themselves. Now, when we're laying the bare areas, we want to take into consideration the thickness of the turf. We want to blend it in as much as possible. So you might have to do just a little bit of jiggling around to make sure the level of the new turf is correct so we don't get too many divots. And if the patches is an odd shape, we just get the secateurs and start cutting. And it's best to keep these patches of the new turf as large as possible so they won't dry out too much. If we were laying a large lawn, we would get a roller or compactor in. But because we're patching it, a stomp, tread or tamp down is all it needs. This will ensure the root system is in contact with the soil. I recommend covering the whole new area with a fine layer of Scott's, top dress all over, and it's going to kickstart this turf and get it growing beautifully. Then water it in well. And if in a few weeks it looks like it's sunk a little, it's not going to hurt to put more top dress over the new area, because the more organic matter that gets to the plant's root zone, the better it is, and the more water that's saved, the better it does in summer actually. And this existing lawn will grow over to the new area in no time.
Embankment gardens can be quite difficult to design at the best of times, especially if they consist of a lot of rock, which is what I've got here at the farm. And over the years, I've tried many different plants in this space, but I've come across one which will not only provide me with a lot of greenery and will tolerate these conditions, but will also provide me with an abundance of flowers. Mesembryanthinum, also known as pigface, is a brilliant plant for sandy soils, drier gardens, and you guessed it, embankments. These are extremely robust and drought-tolerant plants which can handle almost any weather. Here at the farm, we also get really cold winters into the negatives, and then in the summer, we get the other extreme. We get the really hot 40-degree weather. And the wonderful thing about these plants is that they can tolerate those conditions. And best of all, they require very little maintenance. Pigface are great ground covers which will cover a large area in a short period of time. One plant will spread up to 60 to 80 centimetres, creating a nice thick mat. Another great thing about planting them in this space is that they will help to soften the harsh textures of these rocks. If you don't have an embankment garden, don't worry, you can still grow these plants. Pigface are fantastic for mixed garden beds, or you can even have them planted up in a beautiful hanging basket for a dramatic display by the deck. From late spring, an abundance of flower buds will begin to open, revealing vibrant, colourful blooms which will not only brighten up the garden, but will also provide a food source for many beneficial pollinators in the garden. I think that will just about do it for this garden now. Over the next few months, I'll make sure to keep watering them just to help settle their roots in and to establish them. And before I know it, I'll have a beautiful hillside with lollipop-coloured flowers to enjoy.
Look at this beautiful new growth on this tree fern here, and the way the fronds are unravelling and presenting themselves out of the top here. It's like something out of Jurassic Park, and you know why? Because it is. That's how old tree ferns, cycads and conifers are, ancient life forms on the planet. Really interesting too how they continually put on the new fronds, and as they die off and harden, they form the trunk underneath. Same with the cycads. Fascinating stuff, folks. And after the break, here on the Garden Gurus, you're going to see even more fascinating stuff. Oh, yes, it's really fascinating.
Of all of the things that upset home vegetable growers, leaf, flower and fruit-eating bugs top the list. So how can you produce food at home without using deadly chemicals? Well, coming up, I'm going to show you a weekend project that could save your tomatoes, potatoes and cabbage from being attacked. The idea is to create an exclusion cover consisting of a fine mesh that prevents butterflies, moths, whiteflies and beetles from getting anywhere near your precious homegrown food plants. Holman have come to the rescue with a range of Australian-manufactured recycled PVC pipe and fittings. Now these fit together just with a bit of pressure, almost like a Lego set. It's really easy, so you certainly won't need any glue. And the range of sizes, well, they start out at 15mm going up to 40. Now for this project, we're working on 25mm pipe. Draw up a plan so you can buy the necessary fittings and pipe, which are all available from your nearest Bunnings warehouse. Also, you can pick up shade mesh or bird netting while you're there. There are crosses, 3-, 4- and 5-way fittings to get you around all the corners. And when it comes to attaching the shade cloth, these easy fit clips are just the shot. So you just put it over the shade cloth and clip it on, and it grips like a beauty. Being lightweight makes it easy to position over the crop and to lift it up when you need to feed your plants or harvest the crop. A light cover can also offer protection for your vegetables from very hot sun. Well, the protective mesh is on. Now let's go and put it in position. Once you get the hang of this system, the possibilities for weekend projects are many. So you can make up some soccer goals for the kids, or some fishing rod holders, even a bed for the dog, or a miniature cubby house. So get out there and have a bit of creative fun this weekend.
Sometimes life can get a bit dull and monotonous, and you just feel the urge to spice things up a bit, maybe get a little bit racy. And I've got just the thing to put some lead in your pencil and get you back in the fast lane. It's this magnificent, super hot, sexy chili called Jay's Red. There are around 4,000 varieties of chili plants in all shapes and sizes, with varying degrees of spice and heat, some quite mild. They are full of vitamin C, antioxidants, and are good for the blood, and are an important ingredient in many of the world's finest cuisines. Places like Asia, Africa, and the Americas, and here in Australia. I know my good foodie mate Nev loves his chilies, which is no surprise for such a hot and spicy kind of guy. Chilies are easy to grow. They just need a sunny spot in a fertile soil with reliable drainage and water, like most edibles. They can be grown indoors too, in a bright position. Jay's Red really is a cracking chili from the Renaissance range. Very hot though, it's rated at 10++, so definitely not for the beginner. I think even Nev might struggle with this bad boy. Now, Renaissance really do have some great plants. In fact, when I was at the nursery, I couldn't believe my luck when I came across this sensational mojito mint. Oh, what a ripper! The mojito mint is a spearmint native to Cuba, and it has a wonderful taste and aroma, fabulous in dishes, and of course, it is the only mint to use for an authentic mojito cocktail. It's a cinch to grow, great in pots. It likes reliable water, a light shade position, maybe morning sun, but definitely afternoon shade. What a sassy combination, the spicy chili, cooled by the mojito mint, or maybe a mojito or two, followed by some classic Cuban moves, the rumba, the salsa, And Nev's favourite, the cha-cha-cha. You should see him when he gets going on the dance floor, girls. Woo!
We've all got a favourite gardening tool. Well, this is mine. I just absolutely love it. It's lightweight. Well, it used to be until it had to have this handle replaced. This is definitely not the original, but it's small, it's curved, and it's fantastic for digging in hard soil, which is what I've got a lot of. And if you've got a favourite gardening tool that you cannot garden without, jump on Facebook and tell us all about it. And if you want more inspiration and gardening tips,
now, over the winter months, I had quite a few transplanting jobs that I wanted to undertake. It is the best time of the year to undertake a transplanting role, but if you've missed a few plants like I did, then there's a few tricks to allow you to do it this time of the year and still get the best possible results from your plants. And I'm going to share them with you. These plants are moving to a new section of the garden, and my office is about to extend into this part of the garden with this beautiful frangipani as the shade cover. And the weeping Japanese maples will be surrounding me. Sounds like magic, doesn't it? But I need to get the hydrangeas into their new home first. And this is their new home. I'm excited. I love the creek line and the pond in my garden. This has to be the perfect environment to plant them out. The soil is rich and it's always moist, perfect for hydrangeas. So planting is actually pretty easy. A hole twice as big as the root system, a brilliant planting mix, and the best is always going to be a quality potting mixture. Now, what's really important is you put a really good soil in around these roots, and I've gone straight for a premium quality potting mix. This is the one that the professionals rely on. And if you're wondering how much I'm going to use, it's half a bag. That means 12.5 litres, because you get a good 25 litres in a bag like this. And this isn't any old potting mix, by the way. It's got some added ingredients in here that just do amazing things. A wetting agent, biostimulant. It has got 4 months of continuous feeding and some other things that I'd love to tell you about, but I'd have to kill you. And I like you, so I'm not going to do it. And then the most important thing with any transplant, avoiding massive transplant shock. And this is how you do it. A bucket full of water and a rich mix of Seasol. It fixes transplant shock systems and gets the damaged roots to recover quickly, which drives strong, healthy growth in the plants in their new home. So there you go, and there you have it. Transplanting 101 with Cochran, who's channeling rock.
I've always enjoyed a spot of reading. I like to bury myself in a good novel or action thriller, and I love to learn about the world around us. I've just been brushing up a bit on Australian natives. It's fascinating stuff, and there's a lot to learn, folks. There are some 24,000 Australian native plant species covering our massive continent with a diverse range of growing conditions, as I'm sure you can imagine. They all need oxygen, water and nutrients in varying degrees, and one thing they tend to have in common is a low tolerance and need of phosphorus. This is due to the low levels found naturally in our soils due to the extreme weathering over the millennia. This low phosphorus requirement is critical when it comes to fertilising your natives, which is why you should always choose a good quality fertiliser that's suited to them. Over 20 years of research has gone into developing Tro-Forte, which not only feeds your plants with up to 60 natural minerals, but also really focuses on building better soils, replenishing them with a unique suite of beneficial soil microbes and fungi. The microbes break down the nutrients, making them more readily available for plants, which means they become more drought resistant and therefore a lot hardier. What you'll notice after using Tro-Forte for about 6 months are earthworms returning to your soil, creating better drainage and soil aeration. I've raked back the mulch and now it's time to apply the Tro-Forte, which is really easy. All the information you need and the rates are on the label here. And you also get this handy scoop, and for a tree like this, a flowering gum, it's about 6 scoops. Just throw that around. Like that. 4, 5, 6. And if you want to, you can go one more for lucky number 7. And then you can either rub it in with your hand or just gently rake that into the soil, get it in there, And as soon as you've done that, water it in and put the mulch back, and then let all those microbes go to work. To get the most out of your Troforte, get yourself onto the Troforte liquid plant food that's general purpose, which means you can use it on all your plants, including your natives, and it lasts for 3 months, so you only have to do it 4 times a year. And being a liquid means that it goes to work immediately, and it's easy to use. You just stick it on the hose, and spray away, and it's an Australian-owned fertiliser.
Well, that's it for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, the good news is we're back next week and we have got a brilliant program packed full of inspiration, some great down-to-earth gardening advice. I'm Trevor Cochran. I'll see you with all the gang next week for the Garden Gurus. See you then.